हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। आज की इस वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट एंड पेडागोजी के प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस जो कि यूज़फुल रहेंगे आगे आने वाले टीचिंग एग्जाम्स के लिए, लाइक सीटेट, डी ट्रिपल एस बी केवीएस एंड अदर टीचिंग एग्जाम्स। तो वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग क्वेश्चंस प्रमोट्स क्रिटिकल एंड क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग इन चिल्ड्रन? Options are: which can be the best way to save water and why? Where does water come from in your city? How many states and how many capitals are there in your country? What is the name of your country and its geographical location on the map? So the correct answer will be option number 1. Next is, what is the role of evidence in critical thinking? Evidence should be evaluated in a logical and systematic way. Evidence should be accepted without analysis. Evidence is irrelevant to critical thinking. Evidence should be ignored in favor of personal opinion. So the correct answer is option number 1. Next, what does inclusive education entail? Standard curriculum for all learners, segregation and categorization of students on the basis of their abilities, provisioning of only vocational education to learners with special needs. Last, flexibility in the curriculum as a result of recognition of individual differences. So the correct answer is option 4. Next, assertion दे रखी है एंड रीजन दे रखा है, हमें बताना है कौन सा ऑप्शन करेक्ट है। assertion is, Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky differ in their perspective on the influence of language on cognitive development in children. Reason, in discovery learning, teacher provides opportunities and students derive information for themselves. इसका जो आंसर होगा वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर second, that is both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Next is, which of the following set correctly mentions the characteristics on which students who are gifted typically differ from other students in the class? Options are advanced depth of understanding, fast pace of learning, higher dependence on others for understanding, rapid physical development. सो इसका जो करेक्ट आंसर होगा वो होगा ऑप्शन नंबर 4, दैट इज ए एंड बी. नेक्स्ट इज, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स इज करेक्ट इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ हियरिंग इम्पेयरमेंट? Hearing impairment can affect a child's ability to communicate effectively. All children with hearing impairment need to use sign language to communicate. Hearing impairment of a child can be reliably tested by making loud noises near the child. Hearing impairment is always due to a physical problem with the ear. So the correct answer is number 1. Next is, in the context of inclusion, curriculum learning expectations are the same in dash, while in dash they are different. Options are enrichment, acceleration, modification, accommodation, acceleration, enrichment, या accommodation, modification. The correct answer is option 1, enrichment and acceleration. Next, according to constructivist theories, which of the following statements would not be correct? Knowledge is subjective. Learners construct knowledge in their social and cultural context. Learners need to be extrinsically motivated to ensure effective learning. Knowledge is pluralistic and multiple. So the correct answer is option number 3. Next is, which of the following is an example of intrinsic motivation? Completing the project to impress the teacher, playing a musical instrument for personal enjoyment, studying to avoid being scolded, या fourth, participating in a competition for the prize money. Correct answer is option 2. Next, असर्शन दे रखी है एंड रीजन दे रखा है, बताना है कौन सा ऑप्शन करेक्ट है। टीचर्स शुड वर्क हार्ड टू ब्रेक डाउन स्टूडेंट्स स्टीरियोटाइप्स ऑफ पर्टिकुलर एथनिक ग्रुप्स. A key educational objective is to enable students to engage in critical self reflection. So, the correct answer is option number 4. That is, both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Next, what is the difference between mastery goals and performance goals? Options are: mastery goals are focused on avoiding failure, while performance goals are focused on gaining approval and recognition from others. Second, mastery goals are focused on improving one's own skills and understanding of a task, while performance goals are focused on achieving a high grade or receiving external rewards. Mastery goals are focused on gaining approval from others, while performance goals are focused on avoiding failure. Last is, mastery goals are focused on achieving a certain level of performance for competing with others, while performance goals are focused on improving one's own skills and understanding of a task. The correct answer is option number 2. Next is, sibling relationships are different than relationships with parents and peers and play an important role in socialization throughout childhood. Are similar to relationships with parents and peers and play an important role in socialization throughout childhood. Play an important role only during early childhood, do not have much role in socialization. The correct answer is option number 1. Next, assertion and reason again. Assertion दे रखी है, considerable variations exist in developmental rates among children. Reason is, developmental differences are an inevitable result of complex interaction of genetic and experiential variations. So the correct answer is option number 4. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Next is, which principle of development is illustrated in the following statement? Children who are deprived of a conducive environment for learning language in their early years have some difficulty in picking language later in life. Options are: development of language is totally dependent on genetics. Language and cognition are complexly interrelated. Development is disorderly and unpredictable. There is a sensitive period of language development. Option number 4. Next is, students struggling with dyslexia can be taught to read by encouraging them to study in multiple distractions, by providing higher grade level reading text, through use of strict punishment to ensure corrective reading, through systematic phonological training. So the correct answer is option number 4. Next, the underlying principle of understanding based teaching is the belief that learners' abilities and needs are diverse, which cannot be catered to without focusing on standard instructions. Learners are passive recipients, and the teacher has the right knowledge. Learners can construct knowledge when provided with a facilitative environment to do so. Learners know little, and teaching involves transmission of facts to students. So the correct answer is option 3. Next, how can a teacher help a man who is struggling with complex problems develop problem solving skills? Encourage him to brainstorm and generate ideas. Tell him to give up on the problem. Discourage him from experimenting and taking risk. Provide him with the answers. Correct answer is option 1. Next, a conducive classroom environment for learning in middle classes centers around dash: fear of punishment and embarrassment, cooperative learning, competitive ethos, conditioning, and reinforcement. Conducive classroom. Answer is option number 2nd. Next, Lev Vygotsky believed that development is discontinuous in nature. is an unfolding of genetic programming, results directly from maturation, results directly from social interaction. The answer is option number 4. Next, according to Piaget, the four qualitative different stages vary vastly across the various cultures in the world, illustrate that children's minds are miniature adult minds, are dependent upon the genetic codes of the children, represent universal patterns of development of children. Option 4. Next, which of the following is a limitation of Piaget's theory of cognitive development? It overemphasizes the role of language in cognitive development. It does not account for individual differences in cognitive development. It does not account for the role of biological factors in cognitive development. It does not account for the influence of culture and social factors on cognitive development. Correct answer is option 4. Next is assertion दिए. Every year Lata, a class 7 teacher, invites a female maths professor and a male nurse to her class to discuss career in these fields. Gender differences are innate and not acquired through society. So the correct answer is option number 1, that is A is true but R is false. Next, in a progressive classroom, the students do not ask many questions, ask questions to the teacher, ask questions to each other, ask themselves questions. So the correct answer will be option number 3, that is B, C and D. Next, expectations associated with being male or female are referred to as dash and these are learned dash. Options are gender roles throughout child and into adulthood. Your second, gender constancy initially during adolescence, gender stereotypes only during middle childhood, gender bias mainly during early childhood. The correct answer is option number 1. Next, which of the following views about intelligence supports the respectful consideration of diversity among learners? Intelligence is not influenced by environmental factors. Intelligence is not influenced by genetic factors. IQ tests are the only measure of intelligence. Intelligence is multidimensional and can change over time. So the correct answer is option number 4. Next, who among the following critiqued the concept of general intelligence and proposed an alternative theory of intelligence? Jean Piaget, Howard Gardner, Lev Vygotsky या Charles Spearman? Correct answer is option number 2, that is Howard Gardner. Next, Lawrence Kohlberg's theory has been critiqued by Carol Gilligan for ignoring gender differences in moral reasoning, not applying quantitative methods of analysis, presenting a stage theory of moral development, collecting data by means of real life situations. Is option number 1. Next, a teacher wants to help her students develop metacognitive skills. Which of the following strategies would be most effective? Providing frequent grades and feedback to motivate students, encouraging students to reflect on their own learning and evaluate their progress, assigning text to students to memorize and encouraging them to repeat information from the textbook. Yeah, fourth, providing students with detailed and prescriptive instructions for all learning tasks. Correct answer is option 2. नेक्स्ट assertion दे रखी है हमें. Teachers should ask students to identify their own examples and known examples of the concept for strengthening the concept. Reason is thinking of examples leads to strengthening of the concept while known examples tend to confuse the students. Correct answer is option number first, that is A is true but R is false. Next is general principles of learning suggest that students learn better if a teacher first introduces the concept in its symbolic form and then moves to its physical form. Second, first discusses what is not known to the student and then comes to what the student already knows. Third, first introduces the concept overall and then moves on the intricacies of it. First discusses the concept in terms of logic and reason and then grants opportunity to verify the ideas. So the correct answer is option 4. So guys, ये थे आज की वीडियो. आई होप आपको वीडियो पसंद आई होगी. प्लीज़ इसे लाइक एंड शेयर ज़रूर कीजिए एंड चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए और बेल आइकन को प्रेस कर दीजिए ताकि आगे आने वाले वीडियोस का नोटिफिकेशन आपको टाइमली मिल सके. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग.